Imagine this. You walk into a room and suddenly, your mind goes blank. You forget why you entered. Or you meet someone at a party, shake their hand, and seconds later, their name is gone. Frustrating, right? Now picture the opposite. Imagine having a memory so sharp that you could recall names, facts, formulas, and even entire books with ease. Sounds like a dream? For millions of Japanese students, this is not just a dream, it's daily life. In Japan, education is intense. Students prepare for some of the hardest exams in the world. Yet what surprises many is not just how much they study, but how they remember. Their memory techniques are so powerful that they've become famous worldwide. So what's their secret? How do Japanese students train their minds to hold on to so much information? And more importantly, what can we learn from them? So that we too can remember like never before. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll discover the methods that allow Japanese students to memorize thousands of characters, endless facts, and complicated details, and how you can use them in your own life, no matter your age. Because the truth is, memory isn't a gift for the young, it's a skill. And skills can be learned. Chapter 1. Why Japanese students need super memory. In Japan, education is more than schooling. It's a fierce competition that begins in childhood and shapes the rest of life. Success in Juken, the high-stakes entrance exams for high school and university, can determine whether a student enters a prestigious institution, secures a respected career, or struggles on the margins. This pressure makes memory not just a skill, but a survival tool. To prepare, students must command an enormous body of knowledge. Beyond science, literature, and mathematics, there's the challenge of the Japanese writing system itself. Unlike English, with just 26 letters, Japanese requires mastery of over 2,000 kanji characters, many with multiple readings and layered meanings. Each stroke must be precise, each sound recalled instantly. Forgetting even a single character could cost crucial points on an exam. To cope, an entire ecosystem of memory training exists. Parents encourage discipline at home, teachers guide structured practice at school, and private cram schools, known as juku, reinforce lessons late into the night. Students absorb information on trains, during lunch breaks, and even while walking to class. Memory becomes woven into the rhythm of daily life. But the remarkable thing is this: Japanese students don't rely only on endless hours of grinding. They harness smart techniques, spaced repetition, storytelling, writing drills, and collective recitation. These methods turn mountains of information into manageable steps, transforming the impossible into the achievable. And here lies the real lesson. With the right approach, anyone, at any age, can train memory as effectively as Japan's most determined students. Chapter 2. The Power of Repetition. Kaizen for the Brain. One of the greatest tools Japanese students rely on is repetition. Not the dull, mindless kind, but structured, purposeful repetition that strengthens memory like exercise strengthens muscle. This approach connects to Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement. Just as Toyota factories perfected efficiency through small, steady changes, students perfect memory by revisiting knowledge step by step. They don't expect mastery in a single night. Instead, they return to material at carefully timed intervals. Today, tomorrow, a week later, and again a month later. Psychologists call this spaced repetition. Each recall acts like laying another brick in a wall. At first, the memory feels fragile, but with every review, it becomes sturdier until forgetting is almost impossible. For example, when mastering kanji, a student may write the same character dozens of times over several days. At first, it feels forced, but soon the strokes flow naturally, as if the hand remembers before the brain does. This is memory turning automatic. You can apply the same principle to everyday life. If you meet someone named David, say their name as you shake hands. Nice to meet you, David. Then repeat it in conversation. So, David, where are you from? Later, recall it quietly to yourself before sleep. By the next morning, the name will surface without effort. The magic is not in studying harder, but in studying smarter. Japanese students understand this truth. Memory is built like a staircase, one step at a time, never in a single leap, and anyone can climb it. Chapter 3. Mnemonics, turning the strange into stories. One of the cleverest tricks Japanese students use is the art of turning plain information into vivid, unforgettable stories. This technique, called mnemonics, takes something dull and breathes life into it. making it easier for the brain to grab hold of. Take the kanji for rest. At first glance, it's just lines and strokes, but when teachers explain that it's made of a person, Ren, leaning against a tree, suddenly it's no longer random. It's a tiny picture. A tired traveler resting under the shade. That simple story transforms the symbol into something meaningful, something sticky. Japanese students are trained to do this constantly. Whether it's science terms, historical dates, or English vocabulary, they invent funny, emotional, or even bizarre connections. The brain has a natural radar for the unusual. The sillier the picture, the harder it is to forget. You can try this yourself. Suppose you meet someone named Mr. Baker. Don't just say his name over and over. Instead, imagine him dusted with flour, pulling golden loaves from a hot oven, the smell filling the air. That scene will stick far better than repetition alone. Mnemonics also work for numbers. Want to remember Fort 92? Imagine Columbus sailing with 14 giant sails, 9 parrots squawking above, and 2 barrels of rum. It's strange, but you won't forget it. Japanese students know a powerful truth. Facts are fragile, but stories endure. The brain doesn't crave plain data. It craves meaning, color, and imagination. And once you wrap information in a story, it stops slipping away and starts staying with you for life. Chapter 4. Writing by Hand, the Forgotten Weapon. In our digital age, where keyboards and screens dominate, handwriting can feel old-fashioned, almost unnecessary. Yet in Japan, students still rely heavily on pen and paper. They write the same characters over and over, sometimes filling entire notebooks with nothing but kanji. To an outsider, it may look repetitive, even extreme. But there's a powerful reason behind it. Research shows that writing by hand activates more regions of the brain than typing. When you write, you don't just see a word, you feel it through the movement of your hand, the pressure of the pen, the rhythm of strokes. This sensory experience engraves the memory and far deeper than tapping on a keyboard ever could. Japanese students understand this instinctively. Each kanji character isn't just copied, it's practiced like an art form. Every curve and line becomes a memory hook. Over time, the character is no longer something they recall. It becomes part of their muscle memory, almost as if the body remembers before the mind does. You can apply the same principle in everyday life. Write your shopping list on paper instead of typing it into your phone. When studying, don't just highlight, rewrite notes in your own words. Even journaling a single paragraph a day strengthens memory, focus, and clarity. In Japan, handwriting is not just about learning, it's about embedding knowledge at the deepest level. That's why, when it comes to memory, the pen is not just mightier than the keyboard, it is the brain's secret training tool. Chapter 5. The Environment of Focus. Memory does not flourish in clutter. It grows best in spaces designed for concentration, and Japanese students know this well. Their study environments, whether in school, cram schools, juku, or at home, are deliberately built for focus. In cram schools, silence is almost sacred. Teachers demand attention, phones are put away, and the entire room is devoted to learning. Even at home, many students keep tidy desks cleared of distractions, with only notebooks, pens, and study guides in front of them. This discipline creates a mental boundary. When you sit at that desk, your brain knows it's time to remember. The science backs this up. Our brains are wired to connect places with activities. That's why you feel sleepy in your bedroom or hungry in your kitchen. Japanese students take advantage of this by creating study rituals in specific places, teaching their brains to enter focus mode the moment they sit down. Compare this to multitasking, scrolling through messages while studying or keeping the TV on in the background. Each distraction steals mental energy, and the brain fails to form strong memories. The Japanese approach avoids this trap by respecting the ritual of focus. You can do the same. Create your own memory zone. It doesn't have to be a whole room, just a corner with minimal clutter. Use the same place and time every day, even for short sessions. Over time, your brain will treat that space as a signal. Here, we focus. Here, we remember. That quiet ritual is not just discipline, it's memory's hidden ally. Chapter 6. Group Learning and Recitation. Another powerful tool Japanese students use is the practice of learning together through recitation. In many classrooms, you'll hear voices rising in unison, students repeating words, phrases, or entire passages aloud. It's not noise, It's a carefully designed method to make knowledge sink in. Why does this work? Because speaking forces the brain to do more than just absorb information. It has to actively recall it. Then, hearing your own voice feeds that information back into your mind a second time. It's memory doubled, once in the act of speaking and again in the act of listening. Rhythm also plays a role. When a whole class chants multiplication tables or English vocabulary together, the words fall into a beat like a song. And just like songs get stuck in your head, so do facts learned with rhythm. That's why Japanese students can recall long lists or complex formulas almost effortlessly. They've been rehearsed like music. This method doesn't stop at primary school. Older students recite historical timelines, poems, or even scientific formulas aloud. Group recitation builds confidence, sharpens memory, and creates a shared energy that pushes everyone to focus. You can bring this into your own routine. Instead of silently reading a page, try speaking it aloud. Better yet, explain it to someone else. Teaching is the highest form of learning because it forces you to organize thoughts clearly, and if no one is around, use the mirror as your student. The Japanese know this simple truth. Information whispered in silence is easy to forget, but information spoken aloud has a way of echoing in the mind long after. Chapter 7, The Culture of Effort, Ganbaru Spirit. In Japan, there is a single word that carries enormous weight. Ganbaru. At its core, it means to do your best, to persevere, to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. This spirit is deeply woven into Japanese life, from work to sports to education, and it shapes the way students approach memory. Unlike the quick-fix culture common in many parts of the world, Japanese students rarely expect instant mastery. They understand that remembering thousands of kanji characters or years of historical facts is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Success is built step by step through persistence. Forgetting something isn't seen as failure, it's simply part of the path, a signal to keep practicing until the knowledge becomes permanent. This mindset transforms memory into more than just a mental exercise. It becomes an act of discipline, even honor. To study late into the night, to rewrite notes dozens of times, to keep reviewing when others might quit, this is Ganbaru. It's not about being the smartest in the room. It's about refusing to give up. For adults over 35, this is a powerful lesson. Memory often feels like it weakens with age, but the Japanese spirit teaches us that effort is what truly matters. You don't need perfect recall from the start. What you need is persistence, steady, daily effort, like watering a plant until it flourishes. Japanese students prove that memory isn't a gift reserved for the young. With Ganbaru, memory becomes unstoppable.